Hey friends, welcome to the Mad Painter Show. As I welcome you to my show, I would like to let you know you are entering into the mind of a creator. So being in the mind of a creator, we like to jump perspectives. So in looking at this here, it would be considered like a viewfinder. And artists, creators have a way of finding the things that we need to find beautiful with a purpose. So as you engage in this talk with me, I ask you to use your viewfinder to find the beautiful thing in this, because in this beautiful thing, we are learning the secret to the sixth language of love and how to become this language, because that is the real secret to it. But I'm going to break down that secret. But starting off, many of us have heard the Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And if you haven't, the Five Love Languages basically explain through so many pages how people receive and give love. So just a small breakdown of these five love language examples. We have one, words of affirmations; two, acts of service; three, receiving gifts; four, quality of time; and five, physical touch. Now, how does the sixth one play in here? Because Gary doesn't have it, but guess what? Mad Painter does. So, this is a self-help book to assist us with how we view our own love language, and also how we see others' love language, how we go about sharing their love language to them, and how they may share their love language to others, because it's not just a thing in us looking at ourselves. But did you know this very language can be used as a tool of manipulation? So we're going to go back through this. The words of affirmation, it can start off as a thing of, yeah, it sounds good, but the minute I get you hooked onto my word, I'm going to start shooting you down, because I want you to get the illusion that I'm putting you on a pedestal. But the minute I don't want you on that pedestal anymore, I'm going to knock you down. We have acts of service. Oh, do you need me to take you to the store? Do you need me to do these things for you? Do you need me to cook for you or clean your house for you? But then you become dependent upon this, and it's like, oh, now that's all you want me to do? You want me to do this for you? I don't have time to do that. I have someone else calling me right now. I'm sorry. I have to go do this because, I already got that thing and we don't have time for that because I don't have any more service to provide for you. Receiving gifts. Oh, let me take you out to dinner. Let me do all these things for you. But then no more gifts, and it has you feeling some type of way like, do you not love me anymore? And we have quality time. Yeah, that Netflix and chill may seem like it's quality time at first, but are you discussing things that are actually beneficial for your future and the future together, if this is what you have planned? And is this a mutual plan? And physical touch, honey, that's one of the ones that'll bring some real desperation, because you get used to that touch, but then when they touching somebody else, this is how some people be on borderline crazy, because they not getting that touch. So anywho, when we get into looking at this thing and seeing how sometimes what we think is love, and how people can manipulate what we think is love into messing our minds up, breaking our hearts, and how we have our own parts and paying attention, and being included into that thing because we're not paying attention to our own desires and not being truthful with ourselves. But we're going to start off being truthful with ourselves right now and today, friend, because there is a love that we need to receive in order to understand the real language of love. You know what I'm saying, friend? So, friend, let's begin here. First, hurt people hurt people. So whoever it was that broke your heart, you felt like you may have been manipulated by someone, we're going to let that go. We're going to go ahead and let that go, because we need a clean slate of love. We need a clean slate for love, not necessarily having it for love, because love got this love for us, and it's going to help us clean this slate, heal, and be able to embrace love, for the fullness of all that it is and whatever else is to come with that. So let's go on. And we want to get to a place where we want to be in a position of wanting the truth, because wanting and desiring the truth and being in a place of putting our ear to wanting to hear what that truth is, and especially the truth in love. This has a way of opening our eyes to the lies, to the deception, because we first deceive ourselves by believing the lies, by believing our desires, because our desires of we need to hear something good. And of course, no, now don't get me wrong. These things, these 5 love languages. Yes, this is what helps us. This is what keeps us going. But if we look deeper into this love language thing, it is an outer thing. It is an outer expression. And how we know something, or how we know we really are loved, we have this confidence on the inside. So this is where we get to the 6th part and how we become this love. So God, right? God is love, and God is a loving being. And when we get to know God and get to know God's word, so I'm not knocking anybody's anything. I respect whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're practicing whatever it is that you're practicing. But looking at, we have places in where we can get to know these entities by researching, by whatever, and through priests and priestesses or whoever. But in the God in who I'm speaking of, he wants you to get to know him for yourself. Now, there are many people that are connected with this love connection. And I mean, love is a powerful thing, because I've seen in many places how, oh God, all y'all talk about is just God being love, but y'all not talking about how he's like this, that, and other. Friend, let me tell you how you want to know and learn that aspect of him before any of them other aspects, because if you find out that other stuff first and didn't find that love out, friend, you are missing out on the beautifulness of the kingdom coming and his will being done on this here earth as it is in heaven. Because friend, you don't have to die. You don't have to wait to die physically to experience the spiritual love of God, and then experience it in this physical realm. But this where the 6th part going, because it's the number of man is 6, but this is where we die to ourselves, because we may have the self-help book of Mr. Chapman's love language, and this may give us an understanding of how we go about seeing love and observing and let love in others and giving love. But it takes for us to also look at other loves that we may not understand or have experienced to see that others love differently. But God's love is a special kind of love. So we're going to go back to Gary's list, because it takes for us to sit ourselves aside, sit our desires aside, and actually be interested in getting to know what God's love is about. So here we have these words of affirmation, right? And I have God's scenario up in here. So we have, you experience the power of God's word. Now, for example, in so many of his word, he claims that he will give you peace, that he's going to give you this joy, and that he'll never leave you nor forsake you, which you said later on down the line there. But this is a thing where when you have the hardest of the hardest times and you are just struggling and it just seems like everything is happening, friend, if at that moment you can give it to God, you have the heart to give your heart to God and to just call and ask him for help. My goodness. It may be that one time and it may be the 100th time. I don't know the number of time in there. But nevertheless, friend, don't give up because there's a treasure in this. Because what he tells you he's going to do, he does it. And boy, when you receive this peace, you could be all by yourself. It wasn't no ritual. You didn't do anything. You ain't had no clothes. You did nothing. You didn't have nothing to give but your cares, your heart, your asking for forgiveness and your thanks, and you asking that you need some help. And he pops up and show up on you like, hey, it's like, and on this inside, that burden of the heaviness of your heart is removed. Friend. Whoo, he could show you better than I could tell you. 2, this acts of service. So, this acts of service thing. Now, we want to get to know God. And in getting to know God, we want to read his word. And in reading his word, we want to ask him questions about his word. Engage him in conversation, so be it. And ask him, like, what's going on with this? And how did this, and what was, and where did that come from? And what, whatever questions that you have, but ask him about him. So let me tell you, right, this acts of service. He shows you some things. Now, somewhere in that word, he tells you how he'll show you some things and give you some things that you may have asked for something. And whatever he gives you, it will be beyond your imagination, friend. And now, there's an artist talking here. I didn't imagine some things. And then when he didn't put me in a position where he was like, now I'm giving to you what I promised you. And it was like, whoa. Now, I had imagined something like this, but this ain't exactly what I imagined. Like, you totally blew my mind. And I still see you still blowing my mind. This is like an ongoing thing, friend. This is why you want to consider this as a relationship. This is a movement. That water is not stagnant because, you on a ship. You in a ship. You can't be in no little waters. But anywho, receiving gifts. Now, we may think of this thing as our external gifts. But friend, this is what I'm talking about. See, God gives you gifts. Well, I mean, it's best that you talk to him about the gifts that he gives you. So you better know how to use them. But friend, he gives you some gifts that nobody can take away from you. So we go back to this manipulation thing and what I mentioned earlier, and you'll have people that may act as if they're showing you these languages of love by, oh, you like gifts? Let me shower you with gifts. But the minute that, you make me mad or you make me feel some type of way, let me take those gifts back from you because let me show you how I'm in control. Well, yes, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. But friend, when we get in this love situation and see that there is a purpose for everything and that he gives way more. Friend, it's just like this is a layered thing. And the gifts that he gives you, then the other one that just came to me, he gives without repentance. So, I mean, this is why we want to learn this word on layers. Because this is how we become. This is how we become, friend. So there's quality time. When we spend quality time, we see that his word is true. Like we can trust him. Now, we may call people friend quick than a mug. We may call them, oh, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, I love them, and don't know absolutely nothing about them. Don't know that they lying their pants off, liar, pants on fire. So, when we spend time with God, we gain wisdom, We gain a friend. Now, this is where I was back to that never leave you or forsake you. Because then when we do this whole walk thing and you find out that as you get deeper in this relationship and you become committed, he's in you and you in him. And that's like, so when I asked him about that and thought about that, you know about them little things, them little doll things. They got the little one and the little one and the little one and the little one and the little one. And it's just like, oh my God, this is like how we are. That is so cool. Like I said, you are stepping into the mind of a creator. So imagine the mind of God. We ain't went nowhere up in here. Imagine the mind of God and him sitting down on the dock of the bay and y'all swinging y'all legs, just talking about life and love and each other and relationships. Man, when I tell you, man, when you experience, you're gonna be like, man, Mad Painter ain't never lied about that. She ain't lie. So intimate touch. So they, because it has something to do with touch, but I have internal touch, because the physical touch, that's what it was. We're always looking for a physical touch, for something. Boy, this come back to that beloved, because that girl was asking to be touched on the inside parts. Baby, you ain't got the ask to be touching on the inside parts. And she was talking about somewhere else, but he's going to touch you in the part with somebody. It's just this love, friend, this love. And he brings healing, he brings renewal, he restores you, he refreshes you. Like these things that a lot of the people in the Bible had spoke of when they experienced God. When you experience them things, you're going to be like, David, were you right here with me, with Jesus and with Job and with God when he was there in the beginning? Because, bro, you like on all them layers. You like feel it, bro. And then it's like, that's where Jesus come in. Because this whole flesh situation, man, it's a struggle. This is a struggle. This is why, friend, this is why you want to look at this thing for yourself, because there's so much deception out there to misguide you from the truth. And bro, the other thing that hit me, because at first I wasn't going to say nothing about this, but it apparently came back to my memory for me to say it for a reason. Now, if my mentor, Bishop Bronner, is listening, I understand why he says what he says, because he's a bishop and he is standing on his mission, and that was his calling. But as of today, I am a mad painter and I'm an artist. I do nails and I got the YouTube thing going on. Baby, I'm not claiming Christianity. And as far it's because of the illusion of what the people are giving you. And I'd rather show you Christ better than I could tell you. But right now, it's like this is a telling thing. And I'm showing you in the midst because this is genuine love and telling here, friend. But at the same time, when I was younger, I used to hear that Christianity is the way. Christianity is the only way to God. And I used to think that's what had me going on all off into this religion, off into different religious studies, and to see what other people were saying and to see what was going on, because it's like, God, for real, this is the only religion that's the way? Christ is the way, and seeing he is the ultimate key. See, he is the reason why we're calling God our Father and bringing it in this connection, and then and looking at this whole blood situation. I mean, because look at what the things that we are afraid of the dark arts. The main thing that we are afraid of is them talking to the dead and using blood. Christ, the ultimate sacrifice. He is not dead and his blood is still flowing, and it is a cleansing blood. So whatever laws or practices that were secretly given to others, God got all that covered, and it's all well, and most people don't even know. Whoever got that, it's like, shh, don't tell nobody. But this is like this disciple thing, and it's coming into this family. This is the beginning of your transformation. And as we talk more and more to God, God reveals the mysteries. There are no secrets. There are no secrets. Now, I mean, some things ain't none of your business, but at the same time, there are no secrets. And when it comes to him loving us, We want to know all that we can, baby, all that we can. So this thing starts off with us giving our will to God. So let's go look at Aleister Crowley and do what thou will. So when I asked about this thing and doing what, and I mean, God showed me like in a clear, clean kind of way. He ain't take me through the hoops like, now you do you want to do your own will? No, he just kind of showed me the deal like, this is what happens. And he explained it to me and showed it to me. I didn't have to experience everything. But he showed me when we are doing things in our own will, we're not considering other people. Even if you're considering 100 people or 100 million people, you still cannot consider the number of people that God can consider, and you cannot see the things that God can see. So think of this is like in being here it is in being part of the family. When you have an intimate relationship with someone who loves you and you know that they're going to be looking out for you and protecting you, you're going to trust what they say because you've experienced that they haven't lied to you before. So it's like, why would they lie to you now? So, this is a thing where, but it's because so much is going through my brain as I just said that, and as I speak about other things. This is how we become this love, because this is where the discernment comes in at. So we go back to this list because we want to constantly reflect at this list and know the difference between the outside expression and the inside expression, because we want this inside expression first so that we'll know when we see it on the outside, we'll know whether it's genuine or counterfeit. So we have the one, words of affirmation. You will be able to speak love and life. Now this is after you have developed more in God and you're starting to see and experience his love, because the more you allow for him to pour love into you, the more that you are allowed to be, the more you are able and willing to pour love into others. So you will be able to speak love and life. So now look at the love language. What really is important is when someone needs these things. So when you're speaking life and speaking healing or speaking whatever it is that God is giving you to speak, because now you're in tune with God, now you're in alignment with God, and you're receiving discernment. And in this discernment, someone may pop across your mind and you're sensitive to the spirit now God is sharing with you. So now you're reaching out to other people and you're letting them know, you're giving them the word that God is giving you. Now that they may have been at a certain point, they may have needed a word. They may not have been at a point where they were able to speak anything to anybody or show anything to anybody, but God used you to speak. Baby, that's love. And this is why we want to give him, giving him the glory. Because this is nothing that we're doing all within ourselves. He is loving us through us to love somebody else. And it is for them to receive an intimate relationship with him as well. This is like this love connection. The love boat. So we go to receiving gifts. All the gifts you have received are for you to share love with others while giving God the glory. And when other people give God the glory for something that you have done, man, that's like you're doing what you're purposed to do, because that's what God made you to do. And you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, because you didn't do it in your own power and your own might. Like God arranged everything. And it's like you won't get a full understanding of how God's mind operates, but when you sit down and talk to him, and whatever it is that you're interested in doing, because like I said, I'm a painter, I'm a creator, I service the people, but he will up your game. Baby, you will be the best lover whoever has ever had. But make sure you make it on the right, because you don't want people going crazy on you. Quality time. When you spend quality time with him, it's never a waste of time. He has a way of filling you. And so we want to do it a thing where it's not where, well, I'm late for work, but I'm gonna go ahead and spend time because I know God gonna make up that time. Oh, make God a priority. Wake up early. Make time for him. Make intimate time. Just like you would have made intimate time for so-and-so for that Netflix and chill, my friend. Same thing, same thing. Except, but we looking for a different end result here. We looking for growth. We looking for growth and development. Boy, I'm using all kind of gang stuff right up in here, but I don't know if the subtitles can. Anywho, where am I? So you want to be at a place when you're spending quality time with him. You want to be able to see the beauty of God. And what I paid attention with God, like what it just came to me where when you're intimate with someone, you know the inside of them. Not like I could see your lungs, I could see your stomach, your gut, them intestines. They look full up in there. Not that inside, but like you know how like the blue people who I can't stand right now and that Avatar, and I kind of half blurred past that. Are the blue people and I see you. That type of sin. Like they see you. They see the wholeness of you. It's not just your shell. They're not seeing through you. They see you. When we get to a place where it's like, oh, where you see God. Oh my goodness. Whatever part of him he shows, just like, oh, it's beautiful. You don't want to see the anger part. We focusing on love. We're focusing on love, friend. And even in focusing on love, you understand why he's angry. You understand, like, whoa, like you love us that much. Like that was about a warning. Like you were trying to prep people. Wow, I hear that a whole nother way as far as the wicked people situation promise. So, friend, this is a love thing. So the acts of service. I think I flip flop on the numbers on this one, but the acts of service. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Friend, this ain't just a thing where you can run the Olympics, win an award, do the album, paint all night, work the job, get the money, do this, that, and the other. Sometimes we have to do things for others. We may not feel like it. We may not be in the place. I mean, we got to be 100 with ourselves, but this is something that we know we have to do. This is something that I got to step up. I got to step up, play. I got to do what I need to do for this, regardless of how I'm feeling. Asking God for help. We're asking, having him put his hand in things. It gives us the strength to do the things that we need to do. He comforts us in such a way that when it comes time to comfort others, stuff may have just hit the fan with us. Now, we have been doing all this talking and stuff with the Lord, and he's given us peace. He's given us joy, but it's so much stuff happening in our life. But we're put in a position to help another person because whatever our poo-poo is looking like at that moment, they stuff is looking like a whole fertilization plantation station right there. And it's like so much happening. They need comforted. And this is what love is about. It's not so much in going to another person like, man, I got all these problems and they called you for help. But it's an actually, praying and asking God for help and seeing how we can help other people, seeing how we can go about doing better acts of service genuinely with God in mind as we do these things, and not so much for whatever it is. I don't even going to go into the example in that, but when we're genuinely in love and genuinely doing acts of service, especially when we're led by God to do something, boy, that's top tier. And that takes you to a whole nother level, because when people might be in a place that they can't express what it is that they need, and God has you to show up and show out for him, because God was the only person who they talked to, and you were talking to them in they little group. And it just, man, you know what I'm saying? So this physical touch thing, this, friend, is where we build patience. Because I had to think on this, like, but God, now how am I going to break down this physical touch thing? Because I want us to reflect back on that internal touch. And when it'll come time when we need physical touch, and our heart desire is is yearning for this physical touch, he'll provide it for you, and provide it for you in a healthy and safe way. But it won't be provided with pressure. It won't be provided with some sticking you while you spooning because you need this physical touch at night. And it's not gonna be like, oh, I wanna feel you. I don't have nothing on, Marcus. You know what I'm saying? So this is a thing where he, in the process, while he's providing this internal touch for us, and he's showing us how can we go about stimulating this physical touch, and doing different things that could be therapeutic. Art, for example, you need touch something, you want some touch, you create something, friend, and redirect that physical touch desire. And so this comes a part of learning to call him instead of focusing on the lack, focusing on our desires. The more we spend time with God, the more he fills us with him, the more we become and transform into the sixth language of love that Gary Chapman not talking about. I love you, Gary. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Find out and experience why, baby, and become top tier lover that you looking and wanting to be. Because, I mean, this is the season and this is the time to start preparing for it. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.